know that something as little as a missing document can cause your visa application to be rejected, or you not being able to prove that you have a strong ties back in your home country can actually cause visa denial. So if you're planning to apply for a Schengen visa, or you're planning to visit any European countries anytime soon, you need this video. You need to watch this video from the beginning to the end. Hi Eleganters, welcome back to my YouTube channel. And if you're planning to travel to any European country, or you're planning to visit any European country, maybe for tourism, or you want to go and see a family, or you are going for an event, trust me, and you are wondering how you can submit a strong application without any agents, you can do it yourself actually. I've actually applied for visa through different Schengen countries, through different European countries before, and I've gotten all my application. Anytime I apply, I've gotten all my applications. And in this video, I'm going to be explaining the step by step, the things I did very well, and what you can do to make your application very strong. Trust me, you don't need an agent, especially if you follow all these steps that I'm going to be explaining to you. You don't need an agent. You can do it by yourself, except when you did not follow all these things, or maybe you don't have a positive mindset. Remember, it's not just about positive mindset. It's not just about you having a reason for going. It's about you ensuring that you tick all the boxes, you tick everything. So in this video, I'm going to be taking you through. I have my notes here. I'm going to be looking at it, and I will be breaking it down to you. I will tell you what works, what doesn't work, what can work for somebody, what might not work for the other person, and how you can avoid the common mistake that some people used to make. So are you ready? Let's get into it. So some people might not understand what Schengen means. Schengen consists of 29 countries, European countries, that share the same border. Like the Schengen countries, you can move within these countries. Just like if we say Africa. Africa is not a good example to use, but West Africa, I know we still need like visas to visit some West Africa, I think. I'm not sure. Please don't hold that. But Schengen area are European countries area that you can, move freely within this region. It's just like if you have like a US visa, you can visit US states, different US states without visa. So that's the same thing for Schengen. But this time around, think about it like these 29 countries, European countries, include countries like France, countries like Germany, like Spain, any European countries. So you can also Google search it to see the list of the European countries that are included in the Schengen area. I'm also going to try to find it. I'm also going to paste it here for you to view. So with a Schengen visa, you have access to visit all these 29 countries. With a single visa, you have the access to visit all these 29 countries, and it depends on like the duration of your visa. If sometimes they might give you days, it depends on what you're trying to do. I think my first Schengen visa, I was given 4 days, so I was going for a 2 days conference, and I don't know how they calculated it. So they expected me to get to the country in 1 day, do my 2 events, and leave on the 4th day, and that's fine. I was very happy about it. I went there and I came back. I think the second one, I was given a month. I was still going for a 2 days event or 3 days event. I was given a month, and it keeps increasing from there. There was a time in between I got 3 months, and after which they still give me days. So it depends on your intention why you are going there, which I'm going to be explaining in details. But what I'm trying to say is your Schengen visa, you can use it to visit 29 countries at once. So your Schengen visa also allows you, especially if you get like there's single entry and there's multiple entry. So single entry means that, if your visa is if your visa entry is a single entry visa, so that means coming from your own country or whatever country you're coming from, you can only enter once. with that visa. So even if it's 3 months, but it's a single entry, so you can only enter once, but you can stay for a period of 90 days and visit any of these countries, any of these 29 countries. But if your visa is a multiple entry visa, it means that even if it's 6 months, if it's 1 year, if it's 2 years, I think they are giving out 5 years now, you can enter multiple times, and in each period you have like a max of 90 days to spend. So you can leave before your 90 days, you can stay back in your 90 days, you can move freely within these 90 days. So multiple entry means you can enter the number of times you can enter. Single entry means you can only enter once, even if you are not spending up to that 90 days and your 90 days is on your visa, you are not going to enter twice. So that's the difference. I hope I explained that well. And you agree with me that even if your intention is to visit any Schengen country, it is not just about you booking your flights. There's more to it than your flights, especially for us coming from Africa. There's more to it than having a good intention to visit the country and you booking your flights. Even when you have the money, you still have to apply. And now we're talking about how to submit strong application. So I'm going to be looking at my screen here so that I don't miss anything. So what makes a good application? You want to submit a good application. I've been talking about your intention. I think that was where I started from. I mentioned that the the reason why you want to go to that Schengen state or that European country is the first thing that matters. And I've explained that your intention can be you wanting to visit a family or a friend, you wanting to attend an event, or you wanting to just go on vacation. So you need to know your intention, and your intention needs to be pure. So with your intention, then you can also, this is category 1, clear and a clear and consistent travel purpose. That's number 1. So your travel purpose, when you have determined it, oh, you're going on vacation, then you cannot start thinking about your documents, because you want to submit your application. So you cannot start thinking about your documents. Say for example, if you want to go on vacation, where are you going? Like, why are you going on vacation? Maybe it's for your birthday, maybe you just want to relax from work. You see the way you're packaging it together. You want to relax from work, you've been working as so person. So you need to gather your documents. Your documents, your statement, your letter of intention. I'll come back to that. But your letter of intention is very important. It's the number 1 thing. But I'll come back to that, and I will tell you why I'm coming back to that. So you have to book your flights. Schengen embassy, they don't expect you to like pay for your flights. In fact, some embassies will tell you I don't ask you to pay for your flights. So you can use booking dots. You can book your flights using this link. You can book your flights using this link, dummy-tickets.com. Book your flight there. You're going to pay a small amount of money, and the flight is going to be verifiable. Even you can go and check it online, and it's going to be verifiable as if you actually booked that flight, and it's going to be valid, I think, for a month or more. When you want to book, they will ask you that when is your visa application, so that they might not send your flight reservation to you immediately. They might hold on to when your application is closer. Do you understand? So that the duration of the ticket that is going to be valid, but most times it's always valid till when your visa application will come back. And you can book your accommodation there as well. If you're like me, that you don't have money to like pay and you will not get it. But for your accommodation, you can even use booking.com. There are some accommodation that you don't have to pay immediately. You can just put in your card and they will ask you to pay, and you can cancel later. So, but with this site that I've mentioned, dummy tickets, you can get dummy reservation, hotel, and you just tell them when you're applying again, when you're applying for your flights, you tell them when you intend to travel, the date you intend to come back, the hotel. If you want to stay in just one place you tell them all this information. There is a place for you to like give them instructions on what you want and how you want it. Sometimes I used to say, when I apply, I used to say something like, if I'm going to travel on 17th, that is on a Friday, and I'm going to get there on 18th, more than 24 hours flight, or not 24 hours flight, maybe an overnight flight, I'm going to include that my accommodation should not start from 17 that I'm leaving Nigeria, but my accommodation should start from 18, because that is the smartest way. You cannot say you want to book accommodation, you're booking accommodation for 17th. So you have to be very clear. I don't assume that they understand. I give them the information. I'm telling them that if the flight they are going to book, or the flight reservation is going to show that it's an overnight flight and I'm arriving in the country on 18th, which is on a Saturday, my accommodation should start from on the 18th, because that's one way for you to prove to the consular that will review application that you are smart. Nobody wants to waste their money, so you cannot tell me that you are booking a flight when you are even leaving your country. You're already paying money. That is one thing. Everything must collide together. Everything that you're going to be. So we are talking about documentations now. We are talking about clear intentions of travel. You already know why you're traveling. You're trying to gather your documents now. And for your travel, for your flight and accommodation reservation, you're using dummy tickets. That is number one, to save you money in case your visa will be rejected. But it will not be rejected if you follow this step. But in case your visa will be rejected, this will help you to like save money. So that is number one. Then number two is your itinerary. This is very important. If you are going for vacation, your itinerary is very important. What are you going to do there? Where do you want to visit? What are some things that you've read online that you want to go and visit? Maybe there is a museum that you want to visit. There is a waterfall that you've read about it online. And the good thing is, if you go on booking.com, you can book some activities that you would do in that country online. There are some that you don't have to pay, and there are some that even if you pay, you can cancel. Do you understand? Even if you put your card, you can cancel it later. So go on dummyticket.com, pick like different activities that you can do, and write out your itinerary. Plan your itinerary. You can use a Google Sheet. On so date, I'm arriving on so date. This is what I intend to do. This is for you going on vacation. On so date, this is what I intend to do, and make it as smart as possible. Something that is smart, something that is achievable, not something that you understand you can execute. Not just packing like 4 activities on one day. You are going to get tired. So it shows the consular that you don't know what you are doing. You're just doing it. So you have to make it smart, reasonable. Something. When you look at it, you'll be like, okay. You can even state it that your sheet, the sheet you're using, on day 1, I'm going to visit Olumo Rock. That is for an example. When I come back, I'm going to rest. But you're not there to rest too. Remember, you're there on vacation, but you want to rest too. You're there to rest. Then the second day, you're going to have breakfast in the hotel or the Airbnb you're going to stay. Then you go out for sightseeing. Then from the sightseeing in the evening, you eat a local dish. You go to a local restaurant to eat their local food. Plan your itinerary. That is another document that you are going to need. Talking about, I mentioned earlier that you have to prove you have your letter of intention. I'll come back there, don't forget. So the next thing that it's very important is for you to have a solid financial proof. Okay, so before I go there, let me continue with the documents I mentioned earlier. I've explained for vacation. If you are going for a conference, there are some documents you also need. Aside your flight and accommodation reservation, you also need a letter from the organizer of the event that they have invited you either to speak, or you are volunteering, or you are just attending. So you need a letter from them. If the event organizers provide letter, please take it. And the letter should be addressed to the embassy that you're submitting your letter. The letter should be addressed to the embassy that you are submitting your application to. I'm going to put like a screenshot of what the letter, one of the letters I've submitted. I'll see if I can put it here. If I can, I'll put it here. But different organizers of events, they have a way of writing their letter. So get the letter from them. Provide them with your personal details like your passport number, your address, your home country, and so on and so forth. If there is a registration for the events that you're going for, if you pay or there's any registration, download the registration confirmation as PDF and attach it to your letter. Those are the things that will make your Those are the things that will make it solidify. If there is maybe you are a speaker, they sent you like an email inviting you for the session, or you submitted your talk and it was accepted and it was published. Print all these things. Print your email conversation where they used to invite you, or print your session confirmation that your session has been accepted. Go to the event website, print it from the event website as well. Print like a picture of you and your topic on the speaker website. I'm going to show you like one of my own. So print it, print that page as PDF. If they announce on socials as well, print it and gather all those documents together. These are things that you can do to make your application very strong. Some people don't do it. If you are going for an event, trust me, they are going to accept your application if you do all these things I'm saying. So print all those things, gather all those things together. Then, aside from those documents that confirm that you are speaking, get a letter from the organizers of the event to confirm that you are speaking. Add it together. If you are going to visit a family or a friend, your family or your friend that you're going to visit should write a letter confirming your relationship with them, a letter telling the person that is inviting you now, so a letter of invitation confirming your relationship with them, how long they've known you, that they have a place of their own that they are staying, if you are going to be staying with them. That is, if you are not going to an hotel to stay. So if you are going to be staying with them, they need to confirm that they live in so address, they've been living there for so years, this is the relationship they have with you, and they are inviting you for whatsoever reason. So the letter should be as detailed as possible. Let it be as detailed as possible. Think about it that you are not the one applying, you are the one reviewing the application. What are the things you want to see? How can the person convince you? Remember, you are applying, you are gathering your documents to convince the consular, the person that is going to be reviewing your application, that you're actually going on a legitimate reason. We are still talking about going. We are not talking about your coming back. We are talking about going. All this conversation is still about going. So the reason why you are going, gather documents to prove the reason why you are going, from your flight to your accommodation to your invitation. It can come from organizers, and it can come from the person inviting you, or if you don't have anybody inviting you, you are just going on vacation, book and write itinerary. If somebody is inviting you, or you are going for organizing too, or you are going for an event too, you can write your itinerary. It is very important. Don't leave any stone untouched. Just put everything. But we encourage you that I've actually not done it before. Me going to visit someone and maybe going for an event, the two together. If that is your case, write it, plan the itinerary together. Again, we'll come back to the letter of intention. In fact, maybe I should just explain it now so that I will not forget. The letter of intention is you introducing yourself, who you are, what you do, where you live, where you work, who you work for, what you do there, and your intention to travel. You explain it again. Your intention. This is why you are writing this letter. You intend to visit France from so day to so day to celebrate your birthday, or to attend this event. You have been invited to speak. Write everything, and you'll be going from so date to so date, and you'll be coming back to resume back to your work in your home country. You'll be coming back to resume back to your business in your home country. So this is your letter of intention. See it as an introduction and as a method to put together all the documents you are going to be submitting. You remember that I've made that mistake before. I think it was when I first applied to UK. I wanted to come to UK to visit, and I submitted my what do they call it? My bank statement, my bank account statement. And there was nobody there to explain to the consular, because when they rejected me and gave me the reason why they rejected, I'm like, oh my God, if you are looking at my account statement, you will know that this what they said is true, but I can actually explain. I could have explained. So since then, I know that my letter of intention is very important. If there's anything that you think the consular might not understand in your documents, or any documents, it doesn't have to be your bank statements now, maybe your letters, your anything, that is a chance for you to explain. So see your letter as you sitting beside your consular the consular that is going to review your application, explaining your plenty documents to them. So in your letter of intention, that's where you explain where you work, your intention to go to their country, when you intend to go there, summarize the itinerary that you've put together, maybe the events, what you're looking for at the events, why you being at the event is very important, explain it there, and end it with the reason why you need to come back. Tell them, yeah, you will come back. Oh, I'm not running away. Oh, I'll come back to my own country. And you come back because your work, you see, if you're on a contractor, if you're a full-time worker, state it again that you definitely come back. In fact, you are supposed to resume work on so date. There's something I also used to add in my letter of intention. I used to add that oh, now I've forgotten. So this is also where your bank statements, you have to explain, oh, this statement of account that I've submitted is my salary account. This particular bank is my salary account. This is how much comes into my account on whenever they used to pay you, please state it there. If you're a contractor and you are being paid per hour, please summarize your let me give an example. I work for this so company, and as a something, and I'm being paid, for example, $70 per hour, and I'm expected to work for a max of 160 hours a month. So you have given them the summary of that. And for example, I've actually done some contracts before that it has net 30. So that means they pay me 30 days after I've submitted my invoice. So that means my September salary will come in October. So I used to state it there that if you check my account, I will state there that my account shows a net 30 because my contract states net 30 and I'm being paid 30 days after I submit my invoice. So they are going to see, so those information is actually going to tally. Another thing you also mention is if you submit more than one account, sometimes I do that as well. I say, this is my savings account. So it might be your savings account that you have the main money, not your salary account. You understand? So you say, this is my savings account and this is how much I have in my account. In fact, at that point, I've applied for an application before that. When I was submitting, they don't have money in my account. But don't do this. So if you're just applying for the first time, I was so sure because I've applied several times, I've gotten it, and I was so sure, and my job is still there. So I said, before my trip is coming like soon. Before my trip, my salary would have entered, and So don't do this if you're a first time applicant. Don't do this at all. You need to have built the courage before you can submit the application that way. So your letter of intention, explain everything there. Let's talk about you coming back. So we've talked about you going. Now, let's talk about you coming back. Strong ties to your home country. Something that tie you back to your home country. Something that will convince the consular that, oh, because he or she has this thing, she's going to come back. They are going to come back to their home country. This is what will make or may your application. Apart from the fact that you've submitted everything you've submitted, this particular one is what will convince the person reviewing your application that you're going to come back. And this can be different things. Please note that everything I'm going to mention here is not limited. If anyone you can get, as many as possible, that's good. So it's not limited to this. If I didn't even mention anything here and you think that's a convincing reason, please add it. Proof of employment. Oh, you are working, even if you are not working for a Nigerian company or your home country's organization. So I'm working for this company in Nigeria, in Kenya, stated there. I have once worked as a contractor for a US company while I was based in Nigeria before. And I'll attach my contract that shows that I am employed to work from Nigeria. I am employed to work from Nigeria from so period to so period. So I'll state that there. So your proof of employment is very important. If you're a student or you are enrolled in any school, your proof that you are enrolled, that you are a student, your school ID, whatever, just put it there. If you own a property, either on lease or you bought your house, please also add documents to prove that. If you have your mom, you're a parent, you have your child, your husband, your wife back in your home country, add a picture of them. Remember, all these things you're adding, you are going to explain it in your letter of intention. If you have savings, if you have properties in your name in your home countries, please put that as well. If you're a taxpayer, I do this. This is another thing that makes your application very strong. If you are a taxpayer, ensure to collect your tax certificate after 3 years. So after 3 years, if you have been paying tax for 3 years, that is when you can collect your tax certificate. As that's when I did my own. I don't know if it has changed now because the tax things is changing every now and then. So after 3 years, you can collect it. So once you collect one after 3 years, you can always collect yearly because they always have 3 years to calculate. They will just add 2 years before, but it's always on your tax certificate. I'll see if I can add my tax certificate. So get your tax certificate if you're a taxpayer. If you work for a company and they used to remove money from your tax, talk to your HR or your account officer or whatsoever in your company. Tell them that you want to get your tax certificate, and they will facilitate it. They will guide you to do that. If you are a contractor as well, I hope you pay your tax. Add your tax certificate. It shows that you are a good citizen. You understand? That's another thing I used to add. And I used to say I'm a good citizen. I'm a taxpayer in my country. So the more rooted you seem in your home country, the stronger your case is going to be. So you're not only convincing them that you're going to their country, you're convincing them that I'm not okay in my country, I'm not small in my country. So remember, we have explained your solid reason why you're traveling, your intention. We have explained your solid reason why you're coming back. Back it up with money. Some countries need you to have money. So I know some people will ask that, how much should I have? It depends on the country you are going and the lifestyle there and the lifestyle that you want to also, So, but just have reasonable amount of money, either in Naira or dollars. Just have reasonable amount of money. Don't go and have 10,000 in your account, in Naira, 10,000 Naira in your account and say you have strong proof of funds. If it is in Naira, if you ask me, because I know some people will still ask me, if it is in Naira, after booking your flights, booking your accommodation, at least you should have 500,000 upwards. I think you should have 500,000 upwards. 500,000 is small, but yeah, upwards. For 500,000 can still work if you have other strong documents. It can work. I do not know. I'm just saying this is just based on what I think should work. But if you have a USD account as well, that will work very well. Yeah. So another thing that is very important is if you have traveled before and you plan to return home. If you have traveled before, you've left your home country before and you've returned home, oh my God, that is a very good one. You are going to add that in your application. You print your previous, what do they call it? Your passport that shows that you've traveled before. Let me say, for example, now, my first trip outside of Nigeria is to Ghana. So I went to Ghana and I came back. So when I was submitting my next Schengen visa, my first Schengen visa, I said, this is not the first time I'm leaving my country. I've left before. Please note, even if you have not traveled before, there's always a first time. Do you understand? So I'm just saying, if you have traveled before to any other country outside of Nigeria, any African country outside of your country, that is not Schengen, you can add that. Even if it's Schengen, maybe you're applying again. You've applied before, you've gone before, you want to apply again. You can still submit like any previous travel history that you have. It shows that you have gone before, you've come back and you can go again and come back. And if you have not traveled before, please don't worry. I have traveled to other countries without traveling before, if that makes sense. So don't worry. Just package every other document very, very well, and it will work for you. So the next thing that you have to do very well, that some people are not doing, but some people are doing to make their case very strong, their application case very strong, that you too can start doing, is to have a valid travel insurance. You need to have an insurance in place. You are not the citizen of their country. You don't have the right to live in their country. If anything should happen to you, who is going to cater for you? So you need to have insurance, and I think for Schengen countries, your insurance must carry 30,000 euros, I think, in medical emergency. So your insurance must cover 30,000 euros, that's the currency, for medical emergencies, and it must be valid for all Schengen countries. So don't go and get travel insurance that is only valid for France because you are going to France. Don't do that. Remember, your Schengen visa, you can go to 26 other countries, 26 different countries. So make sure that when you are booking or when you are getting your travel insurance, you are getting the one that can cover all European countries. You can get if you are in Nigeria, you can get your travel insurance from this site. And I think you can even get it from many countries in Africa using the sites, yes. So they will ask you some questions, you answer. So it can be, another thing is when you're applying through this site, you can, if you plan to travel for like few days, you can just state that few days. It also shows that you are not planning to stay for long, you're coming back. And even if you intend to, like, I think there was a point I was doing like for a few days. The days I'll just do the for a few days. But there was a point I started doing for more than few days. I started doing a year because I was traveling frequently, and it was really convincing to tell them that yes, I travel a lot, so I want to get this insurance in place. Or if you're planning to apply for multiple entry, it shows them that you have the right insurance in place that can help them, that can help you to stay insured during any time you visit during that period. So do you understand? So you have to pick the one that applies to you and go through that one that applies to you. So your travel insurance is very, very important. Then another thing that I want to mention is make sure that all these documents that I've mentioned, from your letter of intention that explain why you are going, why you are coming back, and all your documents together, your reservation, flight and accommodation reservation, your proof of funds. No, you're not jackmine. So your statement of accounts. So it differs. Your statement of account differs from country to country. Please read through the particular country you're applying to. Read through their website to know if they want 3 months, 4 months, or 6 months. If you can give 6 months, give 6 months. I used to give 6 months. So, but if you cannot give 6 months, if you have only package your this thing for 3 months, that's fine. But confirm from the website of the country you're applying to. So I've mentioned your itinerary, which is very, very important. Book whatever activities you can book online. If you can, write your itinerary out in a sheet or a Google Docs, a table, so that people can see it. They said write your dreams down, make it visible. So write it down so that anybody can view it and be in your head. I'm like, okay, this is what this person intends to do. Have valid travel insurance, your employment documents, your salary account, your savings account. If you have properties in your name, documents you have in your name, your tax back to your country. Think of it, you have your car, you have your house. Even if you are paying rent, you don't have a house in your name, but you are paying rent, but you've already paid for the year. You understand? It shows that your rent is still counting. So I wonder why people don't, when you pay rent, you don't sign contracts. I used to sign contract too. If the person I'm paying rent to does not create contract, I'll create contract by myself and ask them to sign. So your rent contract as well. So make sure that your application is very neat. Arrange it. Let it be accurate. Let it be detailed. Let it be solid, and ensure that the date that you mentioned that you're traveling here is not changing here. It's not changing these documents. Ensure that in every document there is consistency. When you intend to travel, what you intend to do, when you intend to come back. Please don't forget. I think I explained this when I was explaining how to book your flights. So ensure that there is no mismatch at all. Then when you are explaining when you started your work, if you're on a contract, when your contract ends, make sure that it aligns. Your employer, okay, so for your job as well, your employer should write you a letter stating that you confirming your position, That's another letter you should get if you're traveling. If you are not a business owner, if you're a business owner, in your letter of intention, you state it there that you're a business owner and you have this business, so you don't need that letter. But if you are an employee or a contractor, make sure that your employer writes you a letter confirming your position. Not just that, confirming maybe your salary as well, confirming your role, and confirming that you have taken break to go for that event, to go for that vacation or whatever. Let them confirm that you have taken break and they've approved your those dates for you. And let them also confirm in that letter that you intend to resume back to work so dates. Please, this thing is very important. Your employer should write you a letter. That is aside from your employment contract, apart from your salary account. Your employer should write a letter to prove, to confirm your position. And they should confirm your position when you started the work, what you do, your role, what your role entails. Summarize it, don't state everything. Then confirming that you've told them about this trip, what the trip is about. If they know, if they don't, it's fine. And that you are not going to be working, you are not going to be working for them during that period, but you will resume back to your work. Because it is also very important for you, if you are applying for tourism visa, visit visa, they don't expect you to work. They don't expect you to work in their country during that period, please. They don't. I know contractors will say, I can't, remote workers, they don't, your application, we're talking about your application now, they don't expect you to work during that period. Okay. So, then very important, your passport must be valid for at least 3 months after your return. Don't go and submit your application. You're traveling on 17th and you're traveling on 17th of September and your passport will expire on October. Don't do that. Renew your passport. So make sure your passport is still valid for at least 3 months after your return, and it should have at least 2 blank pages. In case they want to put your sticker and they want to stamp. Okay. Yeah, let's talk about common mistakes to avoid. These are mistakes that some people used to make. Why are you submitting fake documents? If you submit fake documents, they will deny you or they will even blacklist you and you will not be able to apply. Please don't submit fake documents. If you cannot travel to Schengen country yet, go to any visa-free country. Check countries that I think I've done a video on that before. Check if you're a Nigerian, check countries that you can visit like Ghana, Kenya. Check those countries and visit those countries to build your travel history. I've done a video on how to build your travel history before. You don't have to fake it. I know we have to fake it till we make it, but don't submit fake documents, please. Then I've talked about ensuring that your information stay consistent throughout. Don't say one thing here and you're saying another thing here. See, a night before my application, I used to table all my papers. I'll go through them one by one, just to be sure that the reservation you've made actually aligns. You don't make mistake. Nobody's above mistake. I've made that mistake before. Let me tell you. I used booking.com to reserve my accommodation, and I think I mistakenly submitted a month, like I submitted 7th of September instead of 7th of October. It was a silly mistake, right? And I didn't know. I didn't check it. I thought I did check it, but they were reviewing our application and the consular was sending me, the embassy was sending me email, and I was still arguing with them. Don't be like me. And I think they said something that changed the whole thing for me. They said, we are asking you for the last time. So that means my application is very, very strong. Do you get it? My application that I submitted then was very strong, but that was the only mistake. They could have as well, I was able to favor grace worked for me. It might not work for you. There's no a cost. But what I'm saying is, it might not even work for me sometimes, right? It was just grace. And when they reach out again, they said for the last time, they're asking me that I should confirm my accommodation period, and I checked it again. That was like when they said for the last time, I think that was what opened my eye. And I checked again, oh my God, I had to reach out to the sites I booked from, and these sites, Domiticket, they are very good. They are very good. They attended to me immediately. They responded to the email. They are very fast with their response. And I sent it back to the embassy and my visa was approved. So make sure that you apply and you stay consistent in all the information. Review all your informations very well. Prepare for the interview. Actually, most Schengen countries use like a third party company, or even if you have to submit to the embassy itself, it's not the consular you see, but the person that you are going to see is going to ask you some questions. But the question is just to ensure that you have the right documents in place and to be sure that you know what you are doing. I don't think it's like US visa where you understand. So because I know Berlin, I went to the embassy to submit my documents myself. I didn't go to VFX or VL. There's another V. So I went to the embassy to submit my CK, and the person I met, I'm very sure the person is not a consular, but the way the person asked me those questions actually helped me, because at that point as a contractor, I had like 2 projects I was working for as a contractor, and I was using the same salary account, and those money were entering my account. And the person said I should, use Biro to point out on the account that this money, this particular payment is from those so company, and this other payment was from so company. So if the person had not asked me that question, the consular would be confused. And that was my first Schengen visa application. So I might probably get rejected. So I got that from that time. And what something about me is, if I learn something during this period, I'm going to imply it. I'm going to use it in anything that I'm doing next. So from that period, especially any period I'm applying, and I know I have like more than one stream of income, I'm going to explain it. I don't allow my bank statements be a reason why my visa is going to be rejected. Like, I try to be as detailed as possible, maybe in my letter of intention, or I should just like point it out. But I don't think you should alter. I think I was just allowed to do that there, but I don't think you should alter your bank statements. But if you can, just find a way to explain it. So if you are the type that is going to the embassy to submit yourself, be very, be very bold, and be honest. Stick to the facts as well. If I had not been honest and say, oh, I'm a contractor and I work for multiple projects, at that point, if I had not said it, the person will just collect my document and say, okay, maybe you don't want to talk, and my visa will be rejected. So if you can, be very honest and let the Spirit of God lead you. Another thing that I should mention, I don't think any Schengen visa that I've applied to have been rejected before. But there was a time I was traveling. I worked with my Spirit of God, Holy Spirit. And there was a time I was traveling, and my passport came that very day that I was supposed to travel. It's just the grace of God. And thank God I also, just like I said, I work with the Spirit of God. And I actually prepared for my trip, because I was so convinced in my spirit that my visa is going to come back successful. And I was tracking it online. There's a way you can track, depending on the embassy you're submitting, the country you're submitting through. There's a way you can track online. So I was sure that my passport is supposed to, I think it was supposed to come a day before, and it didn't come. And they said it came that day. And I applied in my country. So this is general now. So again, this information that I've given you today, you are going to, if you're applying through a particular country, you're going to read their website, but you are going to back it up with all this information that I've given you to make it valid. So again, remember I mentioned that there are some embassies that you have to book. You have to even book appointment dates ahead. So make sure you read through the embassy. I think Berlin, a month before the month. Okay, so let's say you want to submit your application next month, which is next month. I don't know when you watch this video, next month. You have to book a time. So it's like they used to put out dates for next month in this month, a previous month. So you have to book to submit your application next month, this month. So read through the embassy. I think that's Germany. Yeah, I applied through Germany. My first application was through Germany. So read about the embassy very well. Just check on Google. If you plan to go to Paris, for example, if you plan to go to so Berlin, I went to Berlin, but Berlin is under Germany. Just ask Google. There is AI. Ask, and they will tell you the embassy to apply to, and they will tell you if the embassy or the place you're going to submit is available in your whatever state or country. Sometimes you might have to travel. I've been privileged to apply through, I think, Lagos. I traveled to Lagos once to apply for a visa, and twice, and the other ones I applied in Abuja. What else again? I think I've touched everything that I noted here. Strong application. Think about it this way. Why are you going? Strong application. Strong document to prove why you are going. Why are you going to come back? Strong ties to prove that you are going to come back. Those are the two things. Strong reason why you're going, strong reason why you're coming back. If you missed anything, please go back to this video. I think I've mentioned it again. So let me summarize. Your intention to travel, your intention to come back. For your intention to travel, your accommodation, your flights, your itinerary, letters for organizers of the events, confirmation of your speaking engagements, activities you want to do there, a letter of invitation. It might be from organizers, it might be for your friends and family, travel insurance, bank statement that proves that you have money to spend there. So even if you are going for an event and you are being sponsored, it is also good to submit your bank application. Anything can come up there. So can you take care of yourself when you get there? So don't say my flight is sponsored, my accommodation is sponsored. Still submit your bank account. So to come back, properties in your name, tax certificates if you have one. Properties in your name can include house that you bought by yourself. I used to submit my car, documents. Just that page. If you are renting an apartment, contract to the apartment renter. What is again? Business that you have in your name, your business certificate. If you have family, picture of your family together to prove that you have family. Just do a photocopy of the picture. What else again? Letter from your employers, confirming your position, what you do, how much you earn, that your leave has been approved, or it's approved that you're going to represent the organization where you're going, and your travel history is also very important. Your travel history will prove that you have gone before and you'll come back again. Don't lie. Shall put everything together. Your bank statement, I think I've mentioned that as well. Apply very early. Make sure you read more information on the country embassy, on the country website, the embassy. So if you're applying to Brazil, I've mentioned that before. So read very well. They have, even though it's Schengen visa and it's a visa that you can use to visit 29 countries, they have different ways that it's very similar. So it's going to be little things that change here and there. Maybe like your appointment dates, maybe they use a third party, maybe you submit in the embassy and all. And that's just it. And with the grace of God, you're going to get your visa. Trust me, I've applied to over 6 different countries and I've gotten like 6 different Schengen visa from Nigeria. This video is actually from Nigeria. I'm going to do another video because now I apply for my visas from the UK. I'm now based in the UK. I'm going to do another video. If it's out, you see it here. If it's not out, just check later. I'm going to do a video on that. And it's kind of like very similar. So this is like the background because this knowledge is what I still use in my other application as well. Yes, there are little things that change. Like I did not even step out of my house. I applied for application, just sent my visa passport to them, and they sent my passport back. Like I did not go to anywhere, or like Nigeria where you have to print. I should also mention all these documents that you have collated. Some of this embassy will ask you to print, especially all these VLS. Is it VLS or VFX? They will ask you to do photocopy, 2 copies, 3 copies. The minimum one is 1 copy. If you do not do it, they will collect money from you when you get there. So, but yeah, just do all those things that you have to do and get your visa. I hope you found this video really helpful. If you have any question, if you want to submit your application and you find this video very helpful, give me a thumbs up, drop a comment. If this video has helped to relieve, your mindset that you can apply. You don't need to go and pay millions of naira for a visa through agents when you're not even sure you're going to get the visa yet, or when you can even do it yourself. So let me know what you think in the comments. Please share this video, give this video a thumbs up, drop a comment as well, so that you can come back to this, so that I can engage with you, and so that you can also benefit from other travel content that I'm going to be making soon. So if you have any question or you need help reviewing your applications, I'm actually available. So if you need help reviewing your application, I'm not an agent, but I can help you to review your application. You can click on this my link to request for my service. I'm happy to help you with that as well. I'm also going to be posting like more videos on other visas, but this is just for Schengen visa, and I hope you find it very helpful. If you have not subscribed at this point, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, please. Thank you so much for watching, and I wish you good luck in your visa application. Thank you. See you next time. Bye.